Hey guys.
Hi, Nick.
Hello. Back at it again.
Oh, I just finished that conjugate program. The dynamic today, I took a video of the back squats to see if I'm dynamic enough, but I am fucking dead. Oh my God, those split squats, done.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it's fun. And thanks for your comments yesterday. I got them and I'll be ramrod straight, I promise.
On the
Strict press.
overhead.
I mean, on the clean and press, the
Yes.
pressing part. Yes. How are you feeling?
I'm good. We had a really good PT session yesterday. I was pretty much all the way overhead and I was able to put some power into my inputs when it came to stuff like the driving down, the rotational, like that recruit the lat. He has this thing that tests like velocity and input. It's like this plate, and I'm basically laying down, face down, slightly elevated off the floor by like this much, and I'm pressing down into the plate, like, and it didn't hurt, but it's crazy. My whole lat and that whole region shakes like a leaf because it's
Huh.
recruiting all the other little tiny muscles to do what the lat would normally do. Um, but I started overhead pressing this week standing. So we're week
Wow.
three. I'm not pushing through into lockout loaded or having. I'm coming down to the catches, which are like straps. So I'm not loading the eccentric and forcing the lat to engage. But I'm pressing and I'm staying back behind it. I'm pressing out front basically to allow the press to do its job without pushing into a stretch in the lat. But I mean, I can get without load. So um, week three has been a really big. I mean, the stem cell exosomes, the peptides. I don't care what the data says. I'm week three and I'm fucking overhead pressing from almost a complete tear in my lat.
Well, I was going to ask you about the stem cells if you did that. So that's pretty cool.
So I did the exosomes, which come from stem cells. I didn't do stem cells because basically how stem cells work in the most simplest form is they don't have an assignment yet. So they're just cells. And when you put them into the tissue, they attack any and all inflammation. So they turn into anything they need to be. So if I were to get a stem cell injection and then go train like I did, it would attack any inflammation. So when you're training, you're generating inflammation. So it would go to whatever I was training that day and on top of the tear versus the exosomes got injected directly into the tear and adhered they're less systemic and they're more uh, localized. Whereas stem cells
Pretty cool.
can be systemic for inflammation. So on top of that, with BPC, it literally got a whole vial. The injection was 3 cc's. It was literally like this big. It was the exosomes, a whole vial of BPC, a whole vial of TB 500, MFG, PDF, and a little bit of growth hormone.
That's a
So
lot of acronyms.
yeah, we literally threw the kitchen sink at it. But here I am 3 weeks again. Here I am 3 weeks in, and I'm overhead pressing. So I need to just kind of keep steady and not really get ahead of myself because at this rate, Worlds could still be on the table at the end of November. Um, and I'm at peace with it if it's not because I'll just either do the Arnold or do the Animal Cage again. So you guys might see me actually do a full blown
Oh,
contest at the Arnold.
do the animal cage again. I'm sorry. We all
Um,
want to climb the fence and yell,
I,
especially
I
Peggy. I had to drag Peggy down, didn't I?
I won another Arnold title.
Yeah. Well, don't we all?
Um,
We'll support you, Nick. We'll get you.
oh, I know you guys are a fantastic support system. It's one thing I like to tell the new people. I'm like, look, they show up for me, and I pick up rocks. Like you're in good company.
You and Johnny Depp, our favorite pirates, right there.
Let's go. Cool. We got a bigger. I wasn't sure what kind of turnout we were gonna get with it being back to back or who all saw it. So we're at 22. It's 9:03. So I can start running through it. Uh, Let me refresh this. I bet there's more than there. I got done at 50. I'm willing to bet there's more than the 50 I had left, if I had to guess.
Oh, of course, people noticed it,
Yeah.
and more for you.
Yep.
I just threw one on. I wanted to see if I did right from yesterday's.
I will say this. You got yours done yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying at the end, if you like, I missed it by like 2 minutes. And I'm not trying to be annoying on there where like it is, it was just hard to tell like straight leg. I think there's videos for straight leg and stiff leg
We're gonna
deadlift.
change that. I went to Adam and
Okay.
Katz. I'm like, hey, we need to change the wording for this
It's
because
confusing.
well, yeah, it's the reason why I don't ever say straight leg deadlift.
Okay.
I say stiff leg because the amount of people that have the range of motion to stay in a proper hinge pattern with straight legs is fewer and far between than the people that can't. So a lot of people try to do straight leg, end up in the position you're in. I will say probably
Ahorita
85% of the
me
time
faltan eso.
someone does a straight leg
Sí.
deadlift and ends up like that because they literally, I have a literal brain, they literally try to do it with straight legs.
A ver, hubiésemos
And it,
salido aquí, no nos hubiesen dejado salir.
uh, not, it's just, I don't, if you were to do a true straight leg, your range of motion have to be less. I'd rather you do the stiff leg off the floor and be as stiff in the leg as range of motion allows. Whereas like an RDL is kind of the one where you don't come down to the floor and you really push the hips back. So yeah, I talked to them about that because you are not the first and you won't be the last. You couldn't be further from the first person that got that messed up. And like I literally what I said to them is like I'll even read it to you.
Is
Uh,
there a technical difference between straight and stiff leg?
yes, but no.
Okay.
Um, so it's in a nutshell. I was just like, I don't know where it is, actually. I'm not searching for this, but in a nutshell, I basically said, I was like, I'm not even like I'm with him. Like the first time I ever saw that early on, I'm like, what the fuck is the difference? Like I would have made the same mistake. The amount of people that do make that mistake, and they totally agreed. They're totally on board with it. Adam said it's an easy change, whatever that means in the app. I have no fucking idea. Um, but it is
Cool.
you experienced a very common thing, and that's why I always coach it as stiff leg deadlifts.
Okay.
All right, Benoit, right knee pain due to patellofemoral syndrome, the Egyptian foot instability. Is it knee pain on the back leg? Yeah, right knee pain. So you could you could step at a gait where that knee is less bent, or you could step onto elevation. You take a 45-pound bumper or 20-kilo bumper, and you put it on the ground and you step onto that, and that elevation might relieve some of that pressure on that back knee or the right knee. So my question for you, Benoit, is it pain when the right knee is back and bending, or when you're actually lunging to it, or both? Um, because there's some options there. The lunges looked good though, honestly. Split squats. First attempt at a real stiff leg deadlift. I mean, they should come off the floor like a regular deadlift. Those are pretty good. You might have to get a little bit more bent in the leg to get all the way down to the floor, because if we want to be literal, a stiff leg deadlift comes off the floor. Um, so it's basically what if people have the hinge pattern figured out enough and they are doing a true stiff leg deadlift and knowing the variance between an RDL and SDL, you're basically pull down. The best way I try to describe it is you pull down into your deadlift position, then allow your butt to come up and load your hamstrings as much as possible without losing your posterior chain posture. So it just eliminates the leg drive, and it's a big hamstring and glute pull off the floor. Um, the hinge pattern, Benoit, is actually really good. You might just need to bend your legs a little bit more to get that last little bit down to the floor, because I don't want you to fold here, because your hinge pattern again looks fantastic. So if you want to do, I'm only being this picky because he said first real attempt. So I'm holding the floor standard for Benoit because he's capable to do so. Bend the legs a little bit more, build it from the bottom up. So get down into your deadlift position, then allow your body to rise as far as your hip position goes. So you get in that stiff leg position where leg drive pushing the ground away becomes non-existent. And then the hinge pattern lifts the deadlift. Julianna, dumbbell incline bench press. Okay, we're getting there. So basically, you need to lead with your elbows. So the reason why you're ending up with your fists south of your elbows is because you're coming down and you're coming down like this, and you're restricting your position. Versus this is not a barbell. You don't have to press like this. You can press like this. You can press like this. When I do dumbbells, I do like a semi-neutral. So I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm like right here because it's natural and because you can and it's easier on the shoulder. So again, we need to lead with our elbows because you're coming down and your elbows are coming back and you're trying to press from here. And that's not a good place to be. So if
No.
we hit that half turn, I'm leading with my elbows. Look how my wrists follow. Now my elbows stay underneath my wrists the entire time. So I'm not coming down and turning and then trying to get back to my face. I'm driving the train on the descent with my elbow, the wrist follows, and then I drive with my fist on the way up and elbow tracks.
Okay.
So again, instead of doing this, come here and press.
Okay. They've become like my white whale. I don't know why I'm struggling with them so much, but yeah, thank you so much. I will
It's
try and
literally to oversimplify this. You're here, go here.
Okay.
Just take your elbows and
Cool. Thank you.
yes, ma'am. Everyone's got their white whale. It's fine.
Thanks.
Pamela Sanchez, looks like we have a chest supported row potentially. That's always the tricky part. Can't reach them. Good squeeze. I want to see you really elongate on that range of motion because we are chest supported. Allow your scapula to slide in the groove they're supposed to slide in. So as you come down, you can't fold because you're chest supported. So that's the beauty of this. So you let that nice long range of motion happen. Half second pause at the bottom, dead stop, pow, into that big contraction. Overall, pretty good.
Thank you. I lowered the bench on the second one. I think I sent you 2 videos because I felt like I was really reaching to get those weights. So,
So yeah, so what I do is I'll pick one up on one side and then I will kind of use my other hand, stand up and push myself over and then slide down and keep it here and then reach down on this side and stand up. Or what I do is when I'm done, I drop one And then I stand all the way up, put it on the bench seat, pick up the other one, put it on the bench seat. So when I come back up to it, I pick them up off the bench and then kind of lay down onto the bench that way.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Of course. Don't be afraid to get creative what you do with the dumbbells in between, because I know that problem. Okay,
you.
it's common.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Paul Kinsella, conjugate speed pulls. Yes, that is a speed pull. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's like sub quarter second, give or take, maybe a half second. But that's fantastic. All velocity, hips snapping through, commanding the lockout, building power. Oh, nailed these, dude. Colleen H. Looks like we might have some squats. Good on rack, good position. Beautiful. So right here in that midsection, I love how you really get into your midfoot and heels, your hips kick back. So simultaneously, when you hit that point, when you feel your hips kick back and they're kind of starting to shoot up, what I want you to do, and if you sat in on any of these, you've heard me give this cue. Not only do I want you standing up, but I want you driving into the bar. Drive your back tight, squeeze, drive into the bar the same time you push the ground away with your legs. And I think you'll notice that hinge kind of happen at once versus bit. But you have a great squat pattern. Otherwise, you're doing very well. Good depth. Fantastic, Colleen. Nice. Deadlifts. Let's see. Set that back up. Oh, okay. So this position, this is flexion. This is all lumbar load, right? We're not setting up our midsection to load the weight. So basically, when you're inputting your hips here and your leg drive, the power is going through the hips and the torque is all landing right here between the load and the leg drive. So you have two different acting forces. So you have leg drive input, load, and that's where the torque lands. So we need to stack this up to bear that weight. And what I mean by that is it will also allow the lockout to come a little quicker too. What I mean by that is that intra-abdominal pressure, that brace, and then when we get our air, starting in flexion is okay, but we need to pull in that tension. So I don't want to pull from this position. I want to pull in, snap the bar, creating lat tension. And when I do that, I'm going to push my belly button to the floor and turn my tailbone to the sky. So now I'm set neutral. I'm not in hyperextension. I'm in neutral. And once I do that, I snap the bar, I get my air, and I squeeze down into my core, and I push the ground away, not lift with my back. It's a simultaneous thing between quads, hamstrings, glutes, back. So that brace is, see how my stomach expands, and then I clamp down on it, and I get 360-degree pressure. So I want you to think belly button to the floor, tailbone to the sky, anterior pelvic tilt. And then you brace down onto that for dear life. If you haven't, Colleen, the masterclass talks about bracing and breathing, especially in the deadlift. And it is kind of like the pinnacle the foundation of the compound lifts. Because without that brace, that's where this could lead to injury, right? Flexion under a brace has less risk than no brace at all. You've got the strength. We just need to get your position. So I want to see you get into that neutral with the back, belly button to the floor, tailbone to the sky, snapping the bar with your lats, and see what the result is there once you learn how to brace. You should be doing that on squat, bench, overhead as well. You squat very, very well. I don't expect much time for you to figure this out either. So it's not a necessarily movement issue. It's just a know where to input, know how issue. And that is one of the easiest ones. You've got good, it seems like body awareness based on your squat. So I think this will come quick. Natalia Lee, bodyweight squat. So we've got more toes out. Getting really far forward, you can see you getting into your toe there. But the depth is fantastic. You're getting way down. You don't need to fold with the upper body. Keep that back together and upright. Again, I think for you, elevating your heels would be allow you to really stay into that midfoot and heel without feeling like you're going to push forward. These are overall good squat mechanics. It's nothing, just some subtle things I think will make that look nice. Eric Plowman, deadlift. Let's see what we got. This is good. This is good leg drive. We're getting less leg drive as we get deeper into the set. So what I mean by that is, Eric, all you're going to do, take your hips. Same cue I just gave Colleen. Push your belly button to the floor, turn that tailbone to the sky, and sink down into your hips a little bit. Let your knees bend just ever so slightly so we can get more leg drive coming up off the floor. Christina Nichols, Bulgarian splits. These are good. Only thing really, Christina, is pick those eyes up. Get that chin neutral, look ahead. Chest will follow the eye line typically when it comes to any sort of squat variation. So overall, you're doing these very well. You're not all over the place. You've got good stability. I like the distance. You're sitting between each heel. It looks good. Victor. Looks like maybe a deadlift. Good setup. Yes, beautiful, Victor. I want to see you accelerate that bar. Really get those hips and shoulders stacked. Squeeze the butt, violently come through into that lockout. I think this is a weight where I could see a little bit more velocity and acceleration after it breaks out of you, but your posture, your setup, everything is brilliant. I love it. You're doing great. Very intact and deliberate. All right, so this I'm excited for. This was Mike's first submission, and we've been working on his bodyweight squats for some time now, and he's done a lot of the very boring things that aren't pretty, no frills, very, very consistently, week after week after week. And we've gone from this, I think he did a side angle as well. right? Look, we're getting toe heavy, we're hinging over, depth isn't there. You can tell it's a very unfamiliar movement pattern. I'm not even gonna say anything, just watch. This is the part of coaching that is so very exciting to me. You're seeing someone figure it out. And the reason why he's facing a wall is we initially had him up against the wall with his forearms to create a barrier so he couldn't hinge over. And once we developed that habit of staying upright, building the confidence in the motion, we've backed away from the wall, elevated the heels ever so slightly. And I mean, he is mere inches. I mean, this breaking this line is at depth. I mean, he is flirting with being at depth. He's done a fantastic job of showing up, doing the really boring, not pretty, doesn't look good on the internet, nothing fancy, but the necessary shit that allows fundamentals to be put in place and then grow. So a big pat on the back for Mike here because I mean to the consistency he's had with showing up and leaving any sort of ego at the door or anything, that white belt mentality. He has worked on a bodyweight squat for weeks to get the movement pattern down, and he just did simply what's required. And it's this compared to this, night and day difference. Mike, you've got like a quarter inch till you're at depth, man. You're right there. Keep allowing yourself to just get a little bit more and more comfortable, sitting down, push for a little bit more depth. Now that you know kind of where depth is, now you can bring that box in, and you're not going to sit to it, but you can use that as, oh, I'm there, I'm good, come back up. So we want that box somewhere around this height right here. And you're going to want to feel it touch where the bottom of the glute, where that hamstring meets. So almost kind of at the back of the knee crease, maybe slightly below it. So you can kind of break that depth plane and just start feeling it, seeing what it feels like, and really keeping yourself upright into that position, not folding over any further than where you are. And once you get that depth, you can kind of re-engage with the wall here and bring yourself closer to the wall to a point where it doesn't let you fold any more than you are here, while simultaneously shooting for that depth with a physical barrier. So you have the input like, boop, okay, up. Because the walls worked for us before, I think it's been a great tool for you, and everyone's got them. So let's bring you back in ever so slightly closer to that wall. Let's add the box and push, really push for that home stretch to that last quarter inch of depth and get you dialed in, man. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is awesome. Andres, okay. Just by looking at this is why I want to see the front.
Okay.
You are wide, and I've seen you in person. You have no reason to be deadlifting like you're 6'8".
Okay.
So, yeah, look at this. This is a super wide base. You're outside your hips. So, basically, I want you to bring each leg into like here. So, the middle of your foot is going to be where the insides of your feet are. In a nutshell.
Okay.
So it's going to be in line here. And in turn, your arm's going to go from here to here. So now we're going to get to utilize more arm length, which could help with your overall position and leverage because it allows for a higher chest starting position. So I think this could be a good change for you. Now that we have this information, we've dialed in your depth. I'm sorry, your form to such an extent that you're looking good here. Your deadlift is sound, and now we're gonna polish this and get a even more leverage and reinforcement from a good position out of you.
Okay, cool. So that will allow me maybe to lift a little bit more then.
In the long run, 100%.
Yeah.
You may not feel it the next week, the next day, whatever, but in the long run, yes.
Okay. All right, got it. And so that was the speed one. So do I do it over under or just like over or
I deadlift my speed work the same way I deadlift my.
okay, so, all right. So next time I'll do it over under. All right. And how about the speed? Was it okay or
Speed was fine.
okay?
Yeah. There's no issue with speed.
All right, so just fix the positioning then. All right, I'll rewatch the video and fix that.
Boom. Yeah. Yes. Elbows get a little bit deeper, but
So like higher.
as when you catch, really get all the way through
Okay.
with the elbows, like snapping through.
Yeah. So so lift them up like I would do a front squat.
Yes.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that when I was doing it. Okay.
This looks better than what you were doing in Nashville, man. Good job.
All right,
Like
cool.
it's clicking.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
You're there piece by piece.
Okay. Sweet. Thank you.
Once we get that catch and once we get that catch and landing it where you want
Yeah.
it in the round position, we can adjust more on it. One thing at a time with the clean and press.
Oh no, yeah, that kicked my butt. So yeah, I'm just keeping this weight till I figure it out.
Walter, Eli, incline, dumbbell bench. Beautiful. This is that position I was talking about earlier. Um, this is good. This is that like semi-neutral position. Look at that. Wrist and fist are tracking with the elbows. He's driving back up towards his face. Walter, fantastic, man. Well done. Deadlifts. You can sit on the couch in between sets. So not bad, actually. This is a really tight and really together position. I like it. Your butt needs to start higher. So that's what that kicking up feeling and that kind of rotating forward is your leg drive's not allowing to get in position. That is your deadlift position right there. That's where you need to start. So you don't get that roll when it comes up off the ground, the bar creates movement. You're there. You just need to start there. So again, good job. See how that bar sucked back and then came up? If we get you into that position from the get-go, it's going to fly off the floor. Nice. Anthony Peters, deadlift. Same cue. Literally the same cue. The hip position is going to be, see, every rep after that, how your hip position stays at that point. So, Anthony, people learning deadlift, no touch and goes. This is touch and go because we need to dial in that first rep. That first rep is the most important because it's starting from a dead stop. So your position on the touch and go, that's your deadlift position. That is beautiful. So we need that on the first rep. Look at the difference. Here versus here. See how low you are? Your butt kicked up, bar rolled back, then it came up versus the touch and goes, it's immediate. That is that position, no doubt in my mind. Siana. Much better. Much better. She brought that back foot in. She's keeping that hip forward. I really want to see you focusing on pushing your butt back just like a regular RDL and keeping this lumbar nice and neutral. So as you push that butt back, you're going to feel your range of motion get a little bit shorter. You're going to feel some restriction. That's okay. The range of motion with an RDL is only as far as you can go without folding in the lumbar. And it's very minor, it's very subtle. But when you focus on pushing that hip back, especially on that loaded leg, you might get another inch or two less. So here is kind of where your range of motion needs to be. See how it's more of a fold now versus a hinge. So the butt glides back up until there. So keep pushing that butt back, loading this front foot. That's why I said this is just a guide. You're getting there. These look so much better. Well done. Seated clean and press. Good. So you see how she's flicking them up? She's not throwing them out and around. Just a little pop up. Boop. Flick. Press. Pressing overhead. This is good. I'd aim a little bit more for the top of your head, kind of ear line. You're real close. You're kind of pressing out front. So when you're in that press position, we're going to create thoracic tension and extension. So a bit up, chest to the sky, and then we're going to press. That's going to retract our lats, retract our scapula, and put all of the press from delt into chest into delt, all the way across, supported by our upper back. Lauren Brennan, bench press. Good. Watch that rack again. Yes, the pause, you created tension, then you went into your press. Much better. Pressing up towards your face, squeezing your butt. Yep. Nice, Laura. Well done. Jose Rivera, deadlift. Butt was too low, too far forward. So there is much closer to where we want to be. So as your butt kicks up, your knees suck back, the bar rolls in towards you. See how the first thing the bar does is it comes back, not up. Oop. Now it comes up, and while it's still coming back, and now you're pulling. Lockout's good. Everything from the knees up is fantastic. It's starting position. So with your starting position, you're very folded over. See? Yeah, that's where we end up because we get out front. So your hips are going to come up to here, knees are going to suck back. You could probably keep the bar very close to where it is. What it's going to allow you to do is actually get closer to the bar. So the bar is going to be further up when you look down towards the top of your foot, over your foot, because your hips are going to be up and back somewhere in here. Your knees are going to be sucked back, so it's not going to push your shins up against the bar as much. Because you're in this position, it puts you very out front. So when we suck our hips up and back, the knees come back a little bit, creating if our shin angle's here, it goes more here. So the bar can actually come in, because as you come up and back, you're going to feel further away you're going to realize how far away from the bar you are. But that's going to be the main change here for how that first rep comes up off the floor.
Thank you, coach.
Always good to see you back in here.
Yeah, it took a little bit long time, and but I'm back.
Welcome back, brother. Laura, clean and press. Good clean position. I like this. Boom. Yes. Too deep on the dip. We want the dip with some velocity. We want some pop. We don't want sag. So When you clean, after you catch, I want you to take a half step out with each foot. Keep those toes pointed out. So reason being is when we dip, see this? You're basically halfway down to a squat. So the dip is not a squat. It is like a quarter squat, if that. So when we dip, the reason why when I say when you catch, boom, you're here, you're dipping narrow, so your knees kind of have to go forward versus if you catch, take a second, set. Now my knees and toes are pointed out, and it's literally here, peel the elbows out, throw. And it looks like this instead of this. So bit like an elevator. Nice vertical leg drive. Make it shallower, get slightly wider after you catch, and think about acceleration. Bit. Rob Ryder, looks like a belt squat setup, if I had to guess.
Hey, Coach, I'm here. Yeah. You hear me okay?
Yep, I got you.
You had recommended the belt before.
Yes.
I've been playing with it and I struggle trying to find the right weight. Like, I feel like I can move the max weight on that, which is 307 or something, although I know that's not the actual weight, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like I get deep enough as I do with a lower weight.
Okay.
So you're going to see both here. My question is, what's more important, the depth or the weight?
It's a little bit of both in this case because you're right there. I mean,
Yeah.
you're barely high. Like top of the knee line is almost level. I mean, you've got another half inch and you're golden.
That's the light though.
So with
The
this,
heavy weights after.
this is good range of motion. It's not. I mean, you're flirting with depth, so I'm not stressing about it. How deep do we get once we load this bad boy up? You're a little higher, not drastically.
Okay.
I'd rather you get that last half inch, and really get comfortable with depth, and then gradually build the weight because that gives you
So
progression.
when I do the heavier weight, the restriction is at the distal quad and there's an ache in the knee.
Uh-huh.
Thoughts on how to address that to get the last depth?
Sit back a little bit more, meaning the unique thing about a belt squat is you can kind of lean against it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So the further your knees go over your toes, potentially the more torque can be generated into the knee joint. So if you kind of set up in more of an angle where like your feet are down here, your shoulders are up here, then we kind of squat in the axis versus this is a good position. This isn't a bad position. But if we're talking about alleviating some of that knee pressure, you might be able to generate less shin angle by sitting back, by kind of almost putting your feet slightly closer and then squatting back kind of like a hack squat plane.
Okay.
You might even elevate your heels. That could also help too.
You know, I played with that. I actually bought a wedge and I tried it with shoes and thanks to you, I've gotten really comfortable lifting without the shoes. I actually love it now, but my feet slid around a lot on the wedge. And obviously, that's not a time I want my feet sliding.
No. So did you get this knee painted on with the heel elevation?
I'm not sure I did enough of it to I can go back and test it again. And is there a restriction somewhere else? I mean, I'm a manual therapist. I know where we feel things isn't always where the problem is. Do you see anything else there?
Nothing stands out If I were to look
Okay.
at this from the back, you know what, the next week, send me side and back so I
Okay.
can kind of see what might be what your angles are this way, not just
Sure.
from the side. And maybe I might see something that stands out from restriction, but this looks sound. Um,
Okay.
the other thing is when you feel that pain in the knee, where exactly localized is it?
It's just above the knee. It's not as much pain as it is tension and restriction.
Your quads might be tight. Do you do any like couch
Well,
stretching?
yeah, they're definitely tight when I get body work. That's one of the first things people say.
Yeah,
So yeah, I do
so
some stretching and I do some rolling.
couch stretches, if you know what those are, um,
I don't.
it's where you like I'll try and do it with the chair, but it's got fucking wheels. So a couch stretch, because you can use a couch. I think that's where it got its name. Um, put my knees on the
Hmm.
ground, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive my hip forward into interior tilt, and then at the same time I'm gonna sit back. The chair's rolling away. Um, I'm gonna sit back and drive into that quad stretch, and basically pull it and create that length in the tendon and the muscle belly. Um, that is a non-negotiable for me, especially with patellar tendonitis kind of coming and going. That quad stretch is very important to me. And I think it is a really good universal just for preventative. So
Okay.
I'm curious to see if we can get some of that quad tension out,
Okay.
if that alleviates it, the quad and the hip flexor.
Yeah, both are trouble spots for me. Okay, I'll work on that.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Bridget, okay, so she sent me an explanation and some stuff going on. So it's a little long. She apologized. She's new to the form check, so it's okay. So we're gonna be patient and let's see what's going on with Bridget.
Hey Nick, it's Bridget Cocco. Uh, Thanks for looking at this today. We had communicated a little bit that I was having an issue with my shoulder. Never had an issue with my shoulder before. Had lots of other issues, but never here. Started up, I'd say about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. It doesn't seem to bother me when I'm doing my workout for the app. It's mainly, I notice it when I'm laying down at night, or if I'm just kind of like this. It's actually not too bad today. I had a nice leisurely Pilates class, and I think it stretched me out a little bit. But I did notice it when I was driving, doing this kind of a motion, turning the wheel.
Okay.
This area in here, I could definitely feel
Internal rotation.
it feels strange. And when I do this, it almost feels like it's rubbing in my shoulder joint. So I thought I would just do a couple little exercises that I do with the program and see if anything looks off. One thing that I did notice is I struggled a bit with my tricep extensions. I had been doing 10 pounds. Actually, I think 12 pounds maybe. But I had to drop down to 5s yesterday. It was not happening. So I figured I'd try it with some 10s here.
Okay.
Hope I'm videoing correctly.
Doing just fine. This is good. Very strict. Look at that. There's almost no movement. Loading the tricep. Good range of motion. These are fantastic.
Not too bad tonight. A little bit better than it was yesterday. Chest press.
Okay. Yeah. The shoulders are floating. So we're getting a lot of tension into the shoulder. Everything else looks really good though. Okay.
Anything else that I feel that hurts when I'm doing it. It's just, there's definitely a weird sensation here.
So, all right. So some things that I want you to try. We're gonna see some rotational stuff and see what happens. One thing you can do is take like this super lightweight. You're gonna lay on your back. You're gonna put your arm out like this. You can lay on the floor and do it, so you can't go past, or you can lay on a bench once you have confidence, and you're gonna rotate forward, touch directly up. And then you can do one. You can elevate that bench, put your elbow on top of the bench, then you're gonna come forward, and you're gonna come back, forward, back, and again standing. We can get some external in this plane here with a band or weight. And the other thing, I'd like to see how it feels for you is a Cuban press. So you come up, rotate, press, down, here, return. Those are gonna, I want to see if that causes any friction, pain, how your strength feels in those planes. Because it seems the pressing doesn't have any issue. I know you said the tricep you had to drop weight. I'd like to know why, what you were feeling that made you feel that way. They look good. The thing with your chest press, so packing of the lats is actually setting up our shoulders. So our shoulders are going to come back and down. So when we're pressing, you notice how my shoulders aren't doing this. They're staying put, and I'm pressing through my chest and triceps, down to my bra line, all the way up to my eyes, back up towards my eyes. So we're not allowing the shoulder joints to bear any more load than necessary. That could help with, that could be a culprit of your shoulder in the wake of it. So some things to think about and some things to try. I'm glad you sent that video. That was good. Ryan Tom. So this week versus last week. Good. So I'm glad this video came after that because he's doing exactly what we went over. So last week, if you look at this position, see I was driving forward at the end with those shoulder travel, right? And then that's what we corrected. And this week, you see how he's keeping the chest proud and the shoulders aren't driving forward like they were as much. The same thing, Ryan, is you're still getting it a little bit. Look right here. Boom, right at the end. Versus really keeping them back compressed using the cable tension to keep the shoulders back and driving into it with your chest. Keeping that chest turned to the sky, keeping those lats back and down, and driving that way versus really pushing through into it and ending in what I'd call a reach. But better. Definitely right direction. Joe Sherlock, deadlift. Watch that again. Joe, these are good. Leg drive went right into the bar. Hips didn't do anything crazy. Look at that neutral back. Boom, firing in, finishing the lockout. These are looking really good. Well done, Joe. Keep these ticking along. These are fantastic. Getting into the hard reps. Yep, finishing the lockout. Yes, sir. Well done. Michael, chest supported rows. Yep, he does them how I do them. Kind of bip, bip. Keep your chest on the bench. See how you're kind of rocking back into your legs? What I would do is I'd take your legs and get them a little bit more behind you. It's going to make it harder to do that. So to keep you a little bit more honest, I guess would be the word to say. You've got great range of motion. You've got good squeeze. I would just like to see you stay in front heavy from here to here down on the bench and really driving your chest into the bench as you squeeze with the row. Dumbbell seated clean and press. Strong press. So with the clean, really, you're creating a big arc versus as they start to come forward, you come up and flip versus coming out and around, tilt back, light swing forward. And as that forward momentum picks up, you're gonna just yank up and flip through. It just creates a more of a straight line. Obviously, there's going to be some subtle arc because of there's body parts. Yeah. Worked for that one. Love that. Not bad. Well done. Good work on the press, though. Giannis, deadlift. I like this position. Butt kicked up a tiny bit, but you're right there, man. You're right in that place where you need to be. That was better. Second rep was better. Giannis, this is the best your deadlift has ever looked, man. Well done. Well done. New PR. 142.5 kilo. Yep. Good job. From this angle, everything looked good, but that moved like max effort should. Well done, man. Got some great deadlifting this week. All right, so Amanda, barbell pin squats.
Hey, Nick.
How are you?
I'm good. I have a very rare late morning. We had back to school night tonight, so teachers, everything's delayed today, so I can be in the call. I'm not even driving today, which is great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your hips are going to kick up.
I'm also trying to find my position because this is my first time doing pin squats, like low pin, so I was just like
Nailed it.
out.
You actually nailed these. That depth is perfect.
Oh.
So for context, people, she's one of the rare occasions, someone that's very hypermobile. She was going so deep, it was actually pushing her forward. Like her hamstrings were bouncing off the calves. It was actually creating an arc coming up out of the bottom of the hole. So we've actually brought her up in elevation. And these pin squats are, look at that. Look at that. See how there's no hip travel coming up out of the hole? It's just immediately into the bar vertically. Boom. You absolutely nailed these.
Great. Thank you. I had to do some workup sets and for not just the weight, but also just trying to find the correct height to where to put the safeties in on the rack. So I think I took a picture of the numbers. So when I go back, I'll be able to I think I actually am doing them in my workout today. I'll be able to get the same number again.
That's when you're going down, when we're working on tempos with the barrier, that's the depth. That's it right there.
Great.
There is a learning curve with pin squats, even when you've gotten good at squatting, because it is a reverse process. We're having to generate tension in a point where we're normally arriving with tension. So they feel very, very foreign. So The fact that you kind of had to work out. Some people, I recommend them work down in pin heights. Um, how you get there, I don't really care. Whatever you did, it worked.
Cool. Thanks.
So repeat it.
Okay, I will. And that's after work today. That's in my workout, and I'm gonna do the same thing again. So I'll do that today.
Fantastic. This is exciting. You should be excited. This was a really good. I mean, you 100% nailed it right on the fucking nose this week.
Oh, thank you. It's
Yes, ma'am.
processed.
Brutal.
Okay. So these, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. So
Okay.
help. And I did front view, and then also I spliced together a side view as well. So you'll see both. I think I start with side. Yeah, you'll see that first.
I can see the gears turning already. Yeah, they're pretty strict. This is a strict high pull. I'd like to see you do these quote unquote athletically. Because you have the why does this gym look familiar, first of all?
It's Iconic's gym in Long Beach, California. I don't.
Oh, it looked like a gym in Nashville that I've trained at.
Because I think there's an Iconics in Nashville that just opened also, which might be explain the similarity, but I don't know if it's the same
Might be. Anyway, I want to see you do this kind of like an Olympic lifter, right? I want this to be a power generating exercise for you. So I want to see leg drive and extension. Do you know what I mean by that?
I think I do. So because when I first started doing the high pulls, oh God, I think first program or something, foundation, or it was grit or something, several months ago, I was moving these at I wasn't like doing tempo pulls, but I was not moving quickly, and I had gotten up to 70 pounds for the weight. And then I watched the demo, the video that Catch made, and he was moving fast, and I was like, oh wait, I've been doing this wrong the whole time. Like question mark. So I dropped the weight, and that was recently, and so that's why I'm doing 20 pounds. And that was actually going to be my question. Like, is this kind of like the first part of a clean and jerk, or like a
Yep.
of a snatch?
So this is actually so when I teach clean and press, I teach from the top down. I actually teach the press first because it's less to think about. So I view it as if I teach you the press, once we get to the clean, you know what to do, you know what rack position feels like, you know where it needs to land once we start introducing the hang clean and the high pull. So the high pull is a step in the hang clean. There's the portion off the floor, then there's the portion to go from at the knees to the rack position, then there's the overhead. It's kind of like a 3-step process. It's a very, very big motor skill movement. Olympic lifting is one of the highest degrees of technical difficulty. So that is why I don't teach this at an Olympic level. I teach it at a safe and functional level because people don't need to clean and jerk like an Olympic lifter. But I need to have, there's certain things that are required in the movement pattern at a fundamental level. So with this, you're doing the most stripped down version of high pull. It's strict. It's you're understanding elbows high, kind of that little bit of shrug at the top. So you're getting this part. So when we add the leg drive, you know what to do at this part. So this is still good. You're starting at a very down strict level. So when you apply the hinge and we start getting that leg drive in and rising to our toes into extension, as it goes further, we know what to do and then we catch it.
Okay.
So like if you were to progress that, what it would look like in its progression would simply be this. So you're here, you're going high, then we add some hinge and some leg drive, then we add an extension, and then we add in a bigger range of motion, then off the floor and catch. So
Okay, that
it's
makes
built,
sense.
right?
Yeah.
So you're doing just a very early building block. So I
Great.
want to see the
Okay.
hinge now with it and allowing your hips to drive through. And then once you're comfortable with that, add in the extension into the toes and make it more explosive. And then
Okay.
we'll take it down to the floor and do it off the floor. Honestly, this position you were in when you picked it up was actually literally like snatch grip position. I was like, is she about to snatch this shit? That's what a snatch looks like.
Okay.
You're literally built to Olympic lift. It's crazy.
Oh, cool. Okay. Good to know. Future goal.
Yeah, your mobility is like geared for Olympic lifting.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. And I know like my arms feel like I'm off center. It sounds like that will I'll just learn the movement pattern in my because I think I was lifting with my right arm a little sooner than my left. I don't know. That's what I thought, but I would imagine that's part of the process of me figuring out how this works and learning the movement pattern, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to stress about it then. I won't lose sleep.
Yeah, timing is like one of the biggest things. Yeah, you're definitely higher here.
Oh yeah, it's so obvious. When I watched the video for the first time, I was like, oh good Lord.
If I had to guess, you're probably just pulling harder with your right side.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm right-handed, so I guess that might make sense.
I'm not worried about that right now.
Okay, great. Cool. Thanks, Nick.
Yes, ma'am. Ian, back to heavy deadlifts. Had to come back a little bit out front, but nothing crazy. There we go. That was better. Good. Slightly out front on the whole set, but it's very, very subtle. You could honestly just basically pitch back ever so slightly to get that bar in closer. Maybe an eighth inch in hip position higher. Honestly, I don't even think it's raising your hips. I think you setting your lumbar a little bit better will help. Yeah, so you pull down and then your hips kick up slightly. So when you're pulling down into it, you're dropping below where your hips actually want to be, and it's creating. See that bar rotating slightly back forward versus setting that lumbar. So torso, hips, setting it, pushing your belly button towards the floor and creating that tailbone to the sky sensation. Setting this up will pull in tension here and it won't let you sit lower or higher. You'll feel your point of tension and your start point. Bart, clean and strict press follow up. Nailed it. Yep, set up, take your time. Strict press position. Bart, you're taking to these like a fish to water, man. Boom. Yes, we're getting more leg drive. You're not just flinging it off your hips. That's what I wanted to see. Pushing the ground away. Hips come in. Boom. Big catch. Good. Sets up, takes his time. Strict press. Awesome. Those are fantastic. Stiff-legged deadlifts. So he's going to have a higher hip position. You can probably get your hips a little bit higher. There we go. That's it. Nailed that. Now I see you were setting up with the first rep. Got it. This is a stiff leg deadlift. That's what it looks like. His hips are high enough that he's virtually no leg drive, maybe a subtle, tiny little bit, but his hips aren't so high he can't hinge, right? His hinge pattern is still intact. He still has a neutral spine. This is a fantastic angle and view of what a stiff leg deadlift looks like. So Bart, you nailed these. I love them. Keep doing them. Keep doing them the way you're doing them.
Thank you, Nick.
Well
I was
done.
worried that I have having too much bend in the knees, but I want
No,
to get
you
to the ground.
just
So
right. Goldilocks.
thank you.
You're welcome. Tom Davies, single arm rows. Yeah. This is good. You're kind of in between your chest and your belly button here, that midsection. That's a good target. I'd like to see a little bit more reach down into the hole, right? So with the single arm rows, the beauty of it is we can get really good scapular traction. So allowing for that mobility to happen, allowing that stretch, and then contracting, and then nice, slow, controlled, big contraction. Otherwise, you're doing these, everything's what it needs to be elsewhere. Joe, squats. All right, Joe, let's see what we're working with. So, okay, she's found her box. She's got her start height. We're working
I
her
went
down.
down a couple of inches from last week.
Okay. Ooh. I like these.
Oh, good. I
feel like
tried it without the plate on, and my brain just had a panic. It was like it was lower than I anticipated, so I had to go back up a bit.
And then you look at the plate and you're like, that's not that much of a difference.
No.
Yeah, but it feels like a foot when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's good. I mean, do you have a plate that's thinner than that?
Yeah, I do.
Do that one next.
Okay.
Those look, you nailed those.
Okay.
Stiff leggies. Your stiff leg arguably looks more comfortable for you than your conventional pull, which doesn't make sense, but it kind of makes sense knowing you. The only thing I would say is really focus on that brace in that lumbar position. Be really conscious of maintaining neutral. But how you're doing these is great.
Good.
It's
This is
really,
one I can just about get the hang of.
you're like, I'm stiff like deadlifting for eternity now. You're overthinking. While it is good in some areas, it is, for whatever reason, your deadlift, it is just your arch nemesis.
I know. Be a good one to conquer, though, won't it?
It is, and you will. You will.
Eventually. Thank you.
Of course. Lauren Salvani, Romanian deadlift with dumbbells. She's got great range of motion. Big, deep hip push to the back. You can really see those heels loading. Lauren, these are fantastic.
Thank you. Should I go to single leg though? Because that's the heaviest weight I have. So I've been really trying to slow it down. Because that's what I've heard over the weeks since joining. That's the heaviest weight I have. So if I slow it down, it gets harder, and it has. But I wasn't sure if there's more to do.
I mean, the first thing is, if possible, give yourself the opportunity to grow by getting more weight. That is I don't know if you're in the home gym group, but we started that group for people just like you that are like, I'm running out of options. I've added the tempo. I've done everything there is to do to outside of changing the movement. You're outgrowing what you have is what's happening, and that is a beautiful problem. But yes, I would say in your case, and if getting more weight isn't in the immediate solution, as far as possibility, you can. I will sign off on you doing the single legs to maintain the effort for your rep ranges.
Okay.
All right. You've got a great hinge pattern. I would love you to have access to more weight because I think I would love for you to see how strong you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing fantastic. Any questions on that?
No, just wanted to double check.
No, you had a good intuition there. Like, hey, okay, how do I maintain this? I've added the tempo and I'm still like getting to the point where I'm outgrow I either need more reps or I need more weight. How do I make this harder? Let me do this
Yeah, it
unilaterally.
just felt like so slow. And I was like, okay, now I'm like pausing,
Uh-huh.
waiting, and
Yep.
then pushing up. So yeah. And then
I
on
mean,
the next video, I have almost the opposite question, but I'll let you finish. Sorry. So
no.
here, I'm just not sure. Maybe I should lower the weights if I'm coming up high enough or what. I don't know. Because
No,
the weights, they're like they're
these
filled
are
with
dead on.
sand and they're really big, so they feel like they get in the way.
How much is that?
I think it's like 13 kgs each side.
So that's like 30 pounds.
Yeah, I just usually
28.6.
double it.
Yeah, it's 2.2, so it's like 28.6. That's solid. That's solid weight. So, those are really big.
They're
Um,
filled with sand, though they look huge.
okay.
Yeah. It makes
Okay.
me feel really cool. Like, yeah, look at how much I can lift, but then I can't do any more of that.
Outstanding. Um, so yeah, your row technique's fine. No
Okay.
issue here. This is fantastic. Um, there's nothing I really want to change in your bent over row. I mean, you've got slight body English, but that's okay. That's a variant. There's like super strict rows, there's pen lay rows, there's a dozen different row variations. This is an
Mhm.
absolutely valid technique. You're doing fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Donald, stiff legs. Yeah, these this is the more of the Romanian style, but again, when it comes to this, if this is the variation that works at the moment, I'm okay with this. They're working, it's two different means to the same end. A lot of glute, a lot of hamstring engagement. The hinge pattern is great. He's not going to a range of motion that's causing him to fold, and that's more important to me than differentiating coming off the floor or not. So, Donald, these are good. Well done. Barbell squats. Push for depth. Everything else is sounded intact. Um, I'd like to see you get a little bit deeper. You're pushing forward a little bit. Let's see if we can. It's not far to go, man. Like this is the line you have to break right here. So this needs to get below here, and you are burying these. You might find it easier if you step back onto the blocks a little bit more, and get into that heel elevation a little higher. Um, but everything else is intact here, man. Look at this. Nice and neutral. We just need to kind of push for that depth a little bit. And in Ottman high pulls, we've been progressing these weekly. Into the clean. Good. Good extension. Good leg drive. if you plan on strict pressing with your press variation, that rack position is fine. But if we are going to catch and use a push press with leg drive, we need to get into that front rack. But your actual high pull is looking much better. I would like to see your toes point slightly out to see if we can counter some of that knee collapse. And as you hinge and you bend the knee, you're driving out slightly over your toes. But overall, these are, I mean, you're progressing these every single week, so that's good. Mark, hanging leg raises and rope crunch superset. Good. Keeping midsection, canceling the swing with that tension in the upper back and the midsection. These are one of the harder core exercises, being able to control the swing. There's a couple things going on that you kind of got to control with tension. Well done. Those will get better as you get stronger. Simple as that. Yeah, nailing those. You're not driving with your elbows. You're contracting with the core. You're getting a nice, good stretch and then driving down with the midsection without using the lats or anything. So you've nailed both of these, man. Those will tick along. Ginsena, dumbbell, RDL. Too deep. So once we get into this position, we've lost our hinge. This is neutral. This is what we want to maintain. So slightly more bend in the knee. And what I want you to do is not worry about folding over and getting as low as you can go, because once we folded, we've lost our position. So as you start this motion, you're going to keep pushing your butt back and back and back and back. And once you hit the range of motion where you can no longer hinge like this and you have to start doing this, then you've gone too far in your range of motion. So that now you've lost the hinge. And look at how forward you started pushing back. And then look, you load forward again. You come back forward. So we need to keep you back into your hips. So how the RDL moves is your hips glide forward and back. So as I'm hinging, I'm going here. And I'm not stretched out or warmed up, so my range of motion is going to be very little. If I'm getting to a point where I'm pushing, that's kind of where I end. I feel it in my hamstrings. To get any lower, I've got to fold. So I stop before I have to fold. So I'm pushing back. There. Up, squeeze my butt. Pushing back, squeeze my butt. We want to maintain that level of neutral and folding. So before each rep, you're going to reinforce that back with the front. So you're going to fill your belly up with air, brace down onto it, and then you're going to hinge. Hinge, not fold. Ginsena, I'm overthinking now. Dumbbell deadlift. You're not alone in that. So that is the same. If this is supposed to be regular deadlift, we need legs. We need to bend the knee more. So unless you're trying to do the same thing, you have an RDL, which is this, and you have a deadlift, which is this. Way more leg drive coming up off the floor into the hinge. It's leg drive, then hinge. It all kind of comes together as one. The RDL is primarily just the hinge. Becki Maldonado, bodyweight squats.
Yep.
With TRX straps. All right, let's see what we got here. So you've got no issue holding on to straps. So this is telling me this is 100% a mental barrier.
Right.
Because you can do this. The proof is right here. Look at that. There's evidence. Your body can get down there. So we just gotta trick it. We gotta play some mental games here. Um, and the one thing you can do is progress this pattern with the straps or something to hold on to. Hatfield squat is another one. And that's okay. I'd rather you get the pattern and then we can really go into loading up the bar because you're not weak. You have strength. It's just movement pattern.
Yeah,
So
what's a Hatfield squat?
it's basically a squat where you're loaded. It requires like a safety squat bar or something of the sort that has the handles right here so it stays on your shoulders. But basically there'd be like pins on the rack in front of you. It's way we can overload a squat substantially. So you actually kind of are able to sit back more because you're holding and you squat with some assistance with the pins, kind of like you almost squat in the plane of a belt squat where you're able to sit back, but you're top loaded. A belt squat, you're hip loaded. So you're not really training everything from here up. Whereas a Hatfield squat, you still have to bear the weight on the top, and you still have to brace very similarly. So it confirms like we just need to get you comfortable with getting down there. Because once you lose the straps, look how you're like reaching forward. I'd like to see, are your toes pointed out or forward?
I think they're pointed out a little bit. Do I need to point them out more?
It's hard to tell from this angle. I kind of want to see what you did from the front.
Okay.
Yeah. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
You fucking nailed those.
I've been working really, really hard.
This is, look at this, shoulders over the bar. Look at this neutral spine. This is the best your deadlift has ever looked. Look, straight bar path. I'd like to see you accelerate as you start to drive up. So those hips really, I was waiting for another rep, video edit. So those hips really squeeze your butt, really aggressively drive those hips to the bar.
Okay, so I dropped the weight really low for this. I think that's like 80 pounds. Should I keep it really low and work on my acceleration or add some more weight?
You should be accelerating the bar on every rep, even if it's not visible.
Okay.
That input does not change.
Okay.
Also, I want to make note, you're borderline getting deeper on your deadlift than you did on the squat, which again tells me it is mental.
Okay.
So with your squats, I want to see a video from the front, both with the straps and without the straps. And I'd like to see give me 2 reps with the straps, 2 reps with a goblet squat, and 2 reps without anything.
Okay.
From the front and from the side.
Okay.
This is fantastic. Change nothing but getting stronger.
Okay. I'm working on it.
Well done.
Thank you.
Emily HL, looks like we're squatting again this week. Sweet. That subtle little movement right before she squats. The forward drift, it's right there in the bottom. Right, boop. See here, look at this. That bar is over your midfoot. And by the time you end, that bar is past your feet. So it's making it harder. And then when you come up out of the hole, look at that, you're coming toe heavy. Look at the shin angle. Real big shin angle, which is naturally going to bring your heels up, put you on your toes. I want to see if you could next week, if there's a way you could, I want to see these from the front as well from the side, because I want to look at your width. I want to check off every possibility of this drifting forward that we can possibly check off. Realistically, your squat can stop there. That's maybe a hair high. But here to here is all the deeper you need to go. And then if we keep going, you really push yourself forward. Look at that. You can see the moment you roll forward. So this is going to take time. It's going to take reps. We've worked on this with April. We've worked on this with Amanda. I mean, there's a ton of people that this is a very, 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 very common thing. And what we can do is we can kind of build your squat from the top down. So if we take a barrier, a box, you name it, and have you squat to this depth and have it behind you so it forces you to reach for it. So if we have you squatting to that bench and we keep it right here, so you have to reach for it with your butt and wait for it to arrive, and then you go up. And then we lower the box another inch or two, reach for it with your butt. This is not a bad position. You're a little up front already, but this is not a bad position. We just need to keep you back there. So realistically, what you could try is, if you're familiar with like an RDL, how we really hinge, we push our butt back to hinge and sit. I want you to hinge big at the stop of at the top of your squat. So when you break, you see how your hips and knees are breaking at the same time? See the moment so you're moving even before you squat. You shift to your heels. This is good. And then boom, as soon as you start to squat, do you see that shift forward? And actually, your knees break before your hips. So you're already starting advancing forward because your hips haven't gotten back here to descend vertically. So what I want you to do with that squat is, when you initiate it, I want you to go here, right? And just kind of feel that motion without even squatting. Here and then sit. Here and then sit versus here. See how my hips are staying underneath me? Get them puppies back. Boom. Just a little, I'm a little teapot, but to the front. Just here, just a slight little hinge. And then you're going to bear down, tight back, and you're going to push back. You're going to feel your toes get light. Then you're going to sit, and then you're going to grab the floor with your feet. We'll get you there. I promise. Ben. Looks like we're deadlifting. Slightly out front, but your position is really, really good. Nice neutral back. No more touch and goes. Dead stop every single time. You've got a really, really solid deadlift foundation. I love it. But your initial pull off the floor is slightly out front. So every time, dead stop, reset. We don't need to roll the bar. I want to see the bar in position, then I want to see you pull yourself down into position to the bar, because you didn't roll it in far enough, meaning I want to see the bar in position. Then that pull-in you did, I want you to do that with a dead stop bar. Every single rep. See how that bar swung back? Boop. So when you pull into position with the bar where it's supposed to be, you won't have any of that counter movement. Otherwise, your deadlift is, I really like it. So let's get that start, the bar roll canceled, get you pulling into the bar, and then we can polish from there. Bruno C. Looks like a dumbbell deadlift. Hips come back further, dumbbells stay closer. That's going to be the main thing. And those shoes, they're not great for deadlifting. Yes, they're dumbbells, but they're pitching you forward due to the heel elevation. You're going to bring your feet closer. Pretty much directly underneath so your feet are going to be, the outside of your foot's going to be where the inside of your foot is now. I want you hinging back further with the hips. So when you bend your knee, those dumbbells come right down the front of your shins. More bent over. So we want a steeper angle. So we're not rowing up into our traps. We brace, we hinge, slight bend in the knee, and we're rowing in this plane down to our belly button right here. James Farrell, barbell front squat. Let's see what we got, James. I like this gym. Glute ham raise, back extension, key thing. All right, your squat pattern, fantastic. Your rack position, making your life way harder than it has to be. So if it's in your hands, which means you've got a strong core and a strong back to be able to do that. You want it on the delts, literally right across here. So it only has to be in your fingertips. They're like a chalk block. So those elbows stay high. And I promise you, when you get that and it clicks and you start front squatting, you're going to go, holy shit. You're going to have this input onto the bar and you're going to feel your legs and everything really come to life because the bar's not away from you. It's not floating. It is locked in. Your squat position is, I love it. Hardik. Let's see. Looks like a deadlift. This is actually good. Look how he locked down. Snap the bar, tight back. I really want you to squeeze your butt and get those glutes through. Finish the lockout. But your actual pull pattern, I really, really like it, man. I want to see you, once that bar breaks and starts moving, I want you to squeeze the hell out of your butt, and I want you to accelerate pushing the ground away from underneath the bar with your legs. Make the bar speed up as much as you can. Well done. Great movement pattern. Look at this front squat position. Hardik, you move well. We could get a hair deeper. That's all I got for you on this. I don't want to change anything. I want you to push for depth a little bit more. But your front squat position, again, looks fantastic. Well done. I think it's his first form check, so I'll cut him some slack on 3. Newcomers, we're doing 2. Bench press. We've done 110 form checks this week. More towards your, yeah, there we go. Press back up towards your face. Hardik, you move very, very well. Whether you've been taught or it's intuitive, I'm really happy with it. I can see your heels and feet planted firmly on the ground. Can't really see what your hips are doing, if you're squeezing your butt or not. But look how planted. He's not pushing out of his position. His shoulders are stacked onto his lats. This makes me happy. Ian, hang power cleans. That was actually brilliant. Ian, another one of our resident overthinkers. Just crushing it, man. Look at you go.
And that's on a speed day in the conjugate. Is
Yeah.
that the kind of weight that I should be going with?
Yeah, that looked fast.
Yeah, but should I go any heavier or just keep it there just to
I'm not in your
technique?
body. How does it feel?
I mean, I don't know how it's meant to feel.
Okay, fair enough.
It didn't feel.
It's snappy.
I mean, I could move it quickly without feeling like anything was straining. It wasn't like I was.
My speed days, I progress. I still don't keep speed days the same weight every single week, but I do smaller increments. So, say I have this weight on a deadlift or clean. I don't really care about the lift. On a deadlift, I might go 5 to 10 pounds each week, or 2 kilo to 5 kilo each week. Something like this, a kilo or two every single week until you get to a point where you feel it really slow down. Then you work from there, and then when you feel that speed kind of start picking back up, or it feels easy, then you add another kilo or two. So just go another kilo or two heavier next week.
Yeah, it's just that I didn't have like a max to work off because I've never really done this exercise other than the last form check that I gave you.
That's
so
okay.
Really
you're where you want to be with velocity. Add another kilo or two.
All right, cool. Thanks, Nick.
Yes, sir. Scott, clean and press, accelerating from the floor. Lovely. Getting in position, into a strict press position. Scott, if I'm doing a PowerPoint on clean and press right now, that's it. Beautiful clean position from the floor. A little bit wider, sits into his glutes, maintains his posture, doesn't jerk on the bar, hips come through. My Wi-Fi sucks. Beautiful. This is like he's flirting with moving like an Olympic lifter in the clean. Like this is a very, 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 very good in the realm of we're not Olympic lifters. He's not an Olympic lifter. If he has an Elly background, that would be not shocking, just seeing how he's moving, or he's had some sort of exposure to it previously. But I really look, he's accelerating so far and so hard, his feet are coming off the ground. And this is really, really good because when you see people that power clean at a high level, on the lighter stuff, the speed stuff, the workup, you'll hear their feet smack the ground. And that's them hitting that explosion and creating that input of them going boom and creating the explosion and emphasizing the power, right? And the same thing when they go into the press and it's that input, like when you're under heavy load, the only reason you're not coming up off the ground is because you have the weight on you. But it's the same input as if you were trying to jump as high as you can. So what he's doing is, I love it. I absolutely love it. Scott, well fucking done. Matthew, Rikers, what do we got? Deadlift? Clean and press? I can't tell. Keep that underhand arm straight, my dude. But the actual hinge pattern is good. I want to see you push all the way into lockout. Squeeze your butt. Don't stop here. I want to see you, boom, shoulders stacked on hips, clenching your butt cheeks. Your hinge pattern otherwise looks good. Nicholas Freeman. All right, the stiff leg deadlifts. Much better. You nailed those. First time go. I would say maybe potentially allow your knees to bend a little bit more because as you're getting deeper in the set, I'm seeing the lumbar collapse and I really want to see that tailbone turn to the sky. So our belly button, again, that cue, belly button to the floor, tailbone to the sky so we can maintain that neutral. But now you've got the right idea. It clicked.
Well, I just finished my program today, so I don't know if I'll have it next
Well,
week.
moving forward, you know what to do.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, sir. All right, so I got a little bit of time. We can go into a Q&A. Who's got questions? Juliana, hit me.
Hello. So I've got 4 workouts left in my program. And I think I'm getting a bit of FOMO seeing everyone do deadlifts like with the barbell. So I kind of want to know if I could potentially, so I've been doing the dumbbell starting from scratch, dumbbell foundation.
Right.
Do you think I could move up to the like intermediate, either foundation or pumped or something?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
Not doing so.
I don't know, in case I'm too weak, or I mean, I did the body weight starting from scratch twice, and then I did the intermediate body weight
It's hard to be
foundation.
too weak for a program when you select your own weights.
Well, that's true. Yep, that is true. In which case, I did, like, is there any recommendation on what to move up to when I'm kind of going to a barbell? Would it be?
I think the foundation intermediate is worth a shot, 100%.
Okay, perfect. I will. We'll start that week after next then. Thank you.
Awesome. Michael, go ahead.
Hi. I want to have a quick chat about the groin pull and isometric suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Hit me.
Well, you may recall I was at the end of a squat set.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a pull in the groin up in the pubic area on the left-hand side. And these have backed off of deadlifts and squats for a while. I'm replacing this. Today I'm going to replace the barbell squats with, I think, hip thrusts.
Okay.
So you suggested possible some isometric exercises for dealing with adductor pull, which is, I think, specifically where I strained it.
Yes. So, how far out are we?
It'll be a week on Sunday.
Okay. So, simple as like a foam roller or like some sort of like ball that has some sort of tension.
Yep.
You can literally lay on your back, squeeze against it.
Yep.
10 seconds on, 5 seconds off, 10 seconds on, 5 seconds off for like 5 rounds.
Okay.
Squeeze on it hard enough to the point you don't enter into anything more than like a 1 to 2 out of 10 pain.
Okay.
Because we want to get blood in, we want to get contraction, but we don't want to piss it off even more.
Yeah.
Straight leg raises could be another one where you lie on your back again, you lift one up, you hold for 10 seconds, lift the other one up, hold for 10 seconds. Another one is called, do you know what a Copenhagen plank is?
No.
Okay. So they are not fun. They can be hard, but you can adjust the difficulty. due to how it's like a variation of a side plank.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and do it on the chair, but this could be a catastrophe with an audience. So, with it having wheels,
Peggy's saying no, 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 no.
So I've got to figure out how to do it.
If it's dangerous, I can look it up online.
I got to do it on my right side because I don't trust my. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay on my side like a side plank. I'm on my elbow over here, and I'm going to kick up by driving down, and you're going to feel it light up your adductor and your groin.
Okay, that'd be pretty.
And how far in you go, so like if the bench is, right up against your nuts, it's going to be easier because you're giving it less leverage and you have more leverage. And you can progress it by simply just sliding out.
Oh, I love it. That sounds awful.
And if you don't get good input, if it's very, very painful, you can use that bottom leg to push yourself up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You can drive against the floor to assist. 1 minute holds each side, 3 rounds.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
But again, 1 to 2 pain. You're going to have to play with it. You're going to have to get some reps where it might go, ouch, nope. Okay, more input from the bottom leg. I need to slide in some more and so forth. Start at the easiest and work out in tolerance.
Okay, that's good. Thanks. I'll keep you posted.
Cool. I think Ty, I saw his hand up, but I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, I had just put it down. Sorry, Nick. Hey, I had put in a late video for a clean and jerk. Is there any way that you can review that today?
Yes, let's see. I'll go back. Let's see. Let me refresh. There we go. It's okay, computer, take your time. So that is a clean and press, not a clean and jerk. A jerk is a whole nother.
Sorry, I meant clean and press.
So when you come up off the floor, this is good. This is good. I don't want you to focus on anything else right now. If were you doing a hang clean or from the floor?
I was doing them hang cleans.
Okay, never mind then.
Should I do it from the floor instead?
Yeah, because you picked up off the floor and kind of went right into it. And I was like, if you're going to pick it up off the floor, just start accelerating as soon as you start moving. And go right into it. Because this actually wasn't bad.
Okay.
I mean, you virtually did it. Go off the floor. You know what? Fuck it. Go off the floor and accelerate the butt. Speed that up. As soon as it breaks, speed it up. Fly through off the hips. Because you virtually did it. You just did it slow.
Okay.
The press. Rack position. All right. So the press, we're going to need some work.
Okay.
Look at those knees. You're dipping and sagging forward. When you catch, I want you in that front squat position.
Okay.
The reason being is I want that leg drive to go immediately into the bar, not into a suspension. So when you catch it and you go from this foot width, I want you to catch it, step out, toes out, and I want you to dip like this. See how my knees travel out? And it creates a nice vertical hip drive. I'm not sagging. I'm going bit, bit, point A, point B.
Okay.
With that high rack position, when we're stuffed in, we can get that leg drive into the bar to launch it, and then we finish with the press.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, that was what we were working on was the because last time I just did it as strict press, and I wanted to learn the
leg drive
because I've not done that, and that will definitely help me later, I think. So
it's not a bad start at all. Like it's just
Okay.
a matter of getting pieces set up and getting you driving in the right direction.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Yes, sir. Anybody else? Any more questions? I'm terrible about keeping eye on the chat, so I will admit that. No other questions. The floor is yours, people. Ask anything you want. Well, alrighty then. Going once, going twice.
Hey, Nick. I got another question.
Hi. Okay.
I know we've talked about like fueling before you start lifting, specifically more with like carbs and stuff. Do you have like recommendations for like a portion size from the app type thing? Would you just go with like a portion of carbs, like 20 grams of carbs,
I
just
don't
to
even know
kind
what
of fuel yourself?
Yeah, I pay at like -10 attention to that. I weigh my food and my nutrition coach, even when like I'm in off season or in prep, I have my guidelines and macros, and I know, 6 ounces of chicken breast, 1 cup of rice, like that's how I do it.
Okay.
Because when it gets to the point where I have to manage my weight, I need precision.
Yeah.
And we know how much of what to draw back. So, yeah, I've got no fucking clue, dude.
Okay.
What is a portion of carbs on the app?
I know in the app, I know it kind of suggests like 20 grams of carbs is about one of their portion sizes, and 20 grams of protein, and I think 10 grams of fat. Like that's kind of how they divvy it up.
Yep.
From what I remember.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So what are you doing now based on that?
So far, usually like I'll get up, I might have like a piece of bread and some cheese and stuff a little bit before, just to give me some carbs to get going. But I'm like, there are days where I feel like that's really not doing me well, especially on my heavier lift days.
In my pre-workout is pretty much purely protein carbs.
Okay.
And after my workouts, virtually protein and carbs. So like, I'll give you an example. I'll tell you exactly what I eat right before I work out. I do 3 ounces of oats. I do 100 grams of blueberries, all in one bowl. Then I do 1 scoop of whey, so 25 grams of whey. I do salt, and that's virtually it.
Okay.
Like my bigger days, I have a little bit more during my workout. So like intra-workout is typically pomegranate juice, and I'm getting like 50 to 60 grams of carbs out of that.
Okay.
Pre-workout is somewhere in the realm of, 80 plus. Post-workout, it's about 40 grams, and it's very lean protein heavy. Most of my fats all come in my rest day. That's where I'm doing like 90 to 93% lean ground beef with rice, spinach, veggies. So my fats are mostly loaded on my recovery day.
Okay.
Whereas all my training is pretty much lean protein and carb. Again, I don't know what your overall nutrition goal is with whether it's strength output and lose weight. I don't know. But when it comes to the common denominator is I stay protein high across all the days, protein before and after my workout, along with differences in carbs pre, during, and post. Like my speed days have less carbs during because they go faster. Like my heavy days have more carbs during because of the total tonnage output that is required of me, and they take longer.
What do you do when you're trying to lean? Like, is it kind of the same thing pre-workout, or do you cut
My
back on stuff?
pre-workout does not move, correct. So when it comes, I'm already cutting lean weight. So um, basically, a lot of it comes down with timing because it will zap me. I will, when we start pulling calories, I feel it immediately. And like, I got to get through the first week before like my brain goes, okay, this is where we're at now. And the hunger craving starts to curb. Um, and then we pretty much trim fat and carbs, and keep protein really, really high. Carbs start coming out first, then fat, because my fat's already really is probably my lowest macro by a mile. Already now, like just even with the lat, I'm still eating to get in contest shape, and my body went from 225 to 216 in 2 weeks just by dialing into 90%. And I
So
didn't
like
know the
on your
difference.
macro number, where were you at carbs before
Oh, my
cutting?
fat was
And
higher because I was eating shit like pizza and whatever else. Like I wasn't counting. Like I was probably at 60%. And then when I made the decision, like I'm loving training again, I'm gonna send it. I immediately dialed in the nutrition because that keeps me motivated. Like I like when I'm on meal plan. My most fun meal plan is about 80% because it allows a few meals a week to be whatever the fuck I want. I don't even count the calories. Um, I can go have the whiskey. I can go have I just don't drink whiskey the night before a training day. Um, so with that, what happened was I didn't necessarily start eating less. I just cleaned up what I was eating, and it was the protein got higher, the carbs got a little higher, the fat came down for sure, and my body, with the high output of the demand of what the conjugate program I'm on, and it being summer and training in an open air gym, my body just tightened up, ready to go, getting into that shape. Now, what's going to happen is when we get closer to peak, we're going to have to feed me some more calories. And I'm going to get back up to 220, but lean mass. And then we're going to cut it back coming off the last week, about 2 weeks out. Calories are going to start to come out. I'll probably make like 1,000 calorie drop. And it'll hit me like a ton of bricks. And then about 4 days before weigh-ins, about a week before weigh-ins, we start the water load. We do 4 liters. Then, I'm sorry, we do 6 liters. Nope, 8 liters, 10 liters, 12 liters. So it's like 4 gallons is my last water load day. Sodium comes out. And then the day before weigh-in, I have 1 liter by 10 a.m. Then water is done. I get no water till from basically 10 a.m. to 10 a.m., 24 hours. And then at about 4 p.m., somewhere between 2 and 4 p.m., depending on my weight, I start sitting in a sauna and I start sweating. And after about 3 hours, the hunger completely gone because you're so focused on salt and I'll tell you what, a Gatorade never looked more delicious until you're 8 hours deep in a water cut. And I'm in and out of the sauna in 20-minute intervals for the better part of 16 hours. So that's how I do that. I water cut the last 10 pounds, give or take. I did 15 pounds the last one in less than 24 hours.
Gee.
Yeah. It's not healthy, but it's necessary to make weight. So yeah, when it comes to really dialing in the nutrition to accommodate the training, again, total transparency, I have a nutritionist, so I don't have to think about it. At this point, I know what my macros need to be with where I'm at, so I don't need him. When we hit that 8 week point, he's going to step in and it's going to be dress right dress. Like it is to the macro.
Well, just like being a normal person, I've I've gone from like 235 to 205 since I started in January.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like, and like I can see in some pictures from starting to now like differences, but I'm finding it real hard to like lean up. And I've been hitting the nutrition stuff, and I'm just wondering like what more I can do to kind of like
Well,
pretty much
without
eliminate that.
looking at if you've been hitting the nutrition stuff, so this is where Jen is better than me. Not necessarily at nutrition, but how she says thermodynamics doesn't fucking lie.
Uh-huh. Like I know
Yeah,
where they're probably coming from a little bit.
she knows how to word it. So like in a very that's why we call each other. She's my A to B. I'm the B to Z. So she's really fucking awesome at getting someone in, showing them they can, playing the mind games of getting them to see that they can do this. And once she gets them in, the habit built new, getting them to commit to the nutrition and being honest about their nutrition. I come in and go, let me show you what's possible. So that's the B to Z. I don't have the delicacy to say if you're not leaning up, you're eating too fucking much. I don't care what you tell me or what you think you're telling me. I've been doing this for a long time. If your weight isn't moving,
Oh, it has moved. I just mean like physically doesn't look like cutting back 30 pounds is a lot. It's more like still hanging on to like
yeah. So what if you had to guess, what's your protein intake? Give or take. And I'm gonna take it with a
100,
grain of salt, a big old grain of salt.
180 grams on non-workout days, 220 on workout days.
Make it 220 across the board.
Okay.
Uh-huh. You can't get fat from protein.
Okay.
Not lean. If you're getting fat from protein, it means there's other shit with it. Like fat. What I would do is, if you do a carb reduction, I would keep your training day the same and reduce on your rest day.
Okay. Just cut carbs mostly.
Not mostly, some. So like, if you had to guess, what would your
I mean, that's where to cut. Don't cut like
yeah,
add
like
protein, cut
because
carbs.
we want the fats. So carbs and fats both have a function when it comes to recovery. Carbs, the reason why they're important post workout is to replenish glycogen stores. They make you not feel fucking loosey goosey in the brains, you know, after a hot training day, especially me. Like the first thing I'm doing is pounding some sodium and magnesium, potassium, all that stuff, along with that carbs, and it literally within 5 minutes, it's like I don't feel like I'm gonna die. And that's like blood sugar. That you know, that's what they do. The fats are when you're not in excess, your body uses them, and they use them for recovery, for lack of better terms. So when you're in that space of them being used and not in a surplus, there's also something to be said with a high output and getting so down that your body's not going to lose more weight because it's holding on for dear life to a little bit of everything. That's real too. But at that point, it's trying not to lose muscle mass because it's not getting enough. So with where you're like, I'm struggling, I'm not seeing a change. Basically, you're at a point. How tall are you?
6'3".
Yeah, you're a big dude. Big dude too. Like I'm 5'9". I weigh more than you. So like you're a big boy just as it is. So what you're doing now is you're at a weight where the scale, your weight was here, muscle mass was here. You were dropping, slowly rising. Now you're at a point where you're kind of doing this because your body composition's changing. So at a certain
I've gone
point,
up 6 pounds of muscle. Like I did one of those in-body scans today. It says I'm at 9% body fat, and I just don't believe it.
no,
Like
you're fucking not. I'm probably
yeah,
not even right now. I'm close,
no,
but I'm not.
that's where I thought it was. I was like, what was the point of that? But it said like I'm up 6 pounds of muscle on the year, even though down 30
Yeah,
pounds.
and ask me how many times I've done a body scan.
Probably zero.
Yeah, I don't wear a Fitbit. I don't wear an
I don't
Apple
have that
Watch. I
stuff.
don't.
Yeah.
People obviously people talk about like Catch always make fun of me. He's like my heart rate was on my way. I don't give a fuck. How much you deadlift? Like I won a world title not worrying about the needle in the fucking haystack, all these. Too much information is not good for me. So you're at a point where body composition is now at a pivotal point, right? And that's where it can be frustrating because the scale doesn't move. Then you'll see it start going up, but it's slow. It's muscle takes longer to build than fat to lose, right? Like I spent the last decade focusing on strength. Even with that and eating to maintain a weight class and flirting with that line of being able to allow myself to grow enough to continue strength, because no matter how much you prioritize pure strength, you're going to gain muscle, especially if you're eating for strength. Now, some guys gain too fast. They weight class out in like a year or two, and then their power curve, they're way behind the curve. I've been in this weight class longer than everyone in the field right now. Because a lot of guys class out around 5-6 years because it's hard. It's hard to continue to push strength and maximize your frame at a high level. So when I started this, I was 189 pounds when I started strongman. And now the heaviest I've seen is 226. So in the last decade, let's just say I've gained, I don't know, 20 pounds would be 209. I've gained 30 pounds of lean mass in a decade. A decade it took me to get there. And that's really like year after year after year, 9 months of prep at an extreme level, to the point where this year I'm like, I need to let off the gas pedal. My brain is struggling I'm falling out of love with this. So it is a very, very long game when the body recomposition starts becoming priority. And I don't want you to get frustrated that you're not seeing the results. What I want you to start doing is taking a picture at the beginning of a month and the end of a month. Literally like this, either like this or like this, and then the back, like this or like this. That's what I want you to analyze yourself. The start of a month, the end of a month. Every single month for the rest of this year. Do it that way, because it's really hard for us to notice a change in ourselves on a day-to-day basis. We see it every single day. It's like, I remember when I first came in, I saw Amelie, and I can see a difference in her now. Her quad definition, her shoulders. Like, there's a ton of people in here. Ben looks like a different human. There's Mike. Mike Evans, I mean, has completely transformed his body. He's like getting shredded. Like, it's Catch. Even when I met Catch and first kind of got brought into that fold in 2018, 2019-ish, Catch looked like a victim. Like, he just, there's no other way to put it. He just looked like a forever frat boy. And now he's proud to take his shirt off. He's he's prioritized strength. He's prioritized food. He's prioritized technique. And the beauty about strength is aesthetic is a byproduct, but high strength isn't a byproduct of aesthetic, right? So being able to prioritize the training, the recovery, you're a parent, right? Yes or no?
Yeah, I have my daughter half the time.
Yeah, like that's a battle I know nothing about, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's fucking easy. You just gotta no. I'm not. I have two dogs that they got one of them got into my Keurig pods, and luckily it was decaf. And I came home and that was everywhere yesterday. I had a snake skin drying out because my house is a little bit like, Al Qaeda's cave meets Wednesday Addams.
Yeah, you live in Western Maryland.
Yeah, I think dead things are cool. And I found a completely intact head to tail snakeskin, and Bruno dickhead jumped up and snapped the head off. Like, I was like, I will probably never find one in that good of shape ever again. And I don't know the struggles. I've seen it. I see Catch do it, so I know it's possible. But it adds a certain level of stress and responsibility that I don't even try to understand, but I try to equate to, me having a service dog, me having to tend to their needs. And he's very hyperactive, Hank is. So like constant go outside, play with the ball. Like I have to do things that I imagine that would align with taking care of a little human, but Hank's not going to accidentally turn on the stove. Like there's
she tells me to go to the gym every day, like even on
that's
non-training
huge.
days.
I
Yeah,
love that.
she likes to go play
So
at the like they've got a playground at the Y.
So
So
the median for you is managing the stress of I'm trying to do this thing in my body versus real life responsibilities and finding where the habit lies in the realm of possibility in the middle that allows for discipline to flourish. So with you and nutrition, someone that is not an athlete, experimentation is your friend. We can tell you can either hire a nutritionist, or this is why I do believe in, even though it's not for me, I see it work for people. It cannot work for me and still be a good thing, right? Like math doesn't work for me, but I understand it's good in the realm of shit. Finding that balance, go, okay, I've been doing it this way. I need to see a change. Let me up my protein because that's going to make me feel full. And it's going to give me the building blocks for the lean mass. I'm going to keep my carbs in my training days. Let me trim a little carbs on my rest days and see what happens. Let me trim a little fat, but not too much, and see what happens because I still want to recover. So that's where the beauty in this, there's people fall into a trap I've known here, I've seen, is sometimes people want a fucking article for everything. And that's just not how this works, right? Like some of this, and it's why as a coach, I urge people, hey, we want a procedure for warm-ups. Well, I don't have your body, right? So your warm-up, there might be some general things I can give you to start out with, but get on YouTube and go, hey, my shoulders are tight before every workout. Take 3 things, implement them in your pre-training days, even if it's not a press day, and go, man, this one really worked for me. Let me keep this one. Let me try 2 new things. Right? Like how I warmed up now is different than how I warmed up 5 years ago. And it's the same with nutrition. You're going to get reps in this, even though you're in the trench, you can't see over the hedge right now, but you're going to walk down that trench, and eventually it's going to open up because you're going to have this experience and you're going to see, okay, I know the lay of the land. I know how to navigate this. And you're going to be able to walk back through the trench and assess all the things you need to plug and play and know where it takes you out.
well,
So
I can see how all this stuff works. And at first with the nutrition tracker, I wasn't turning on like on workout days because I thought, okay, I just want to cut weight. Didn't realize I needed more protein. And like I've watched my lifts basically double from where I started, and I started going to a gym 6 months ago. So like can definitely see results on the programs. It's great.
yeah,
It's like, man, why can't it happen faster? But that's
I
just
know, right?
a patience thing.
It's and if there was ever a magic pill with this, it's protein. High protein is like the amount of people that just aren't eating enough protein is massive. Um, I screenshotted something in the app and sent it to Catch because he just basically was like, I didn't like this. It wasn't working. How could this possibly work? And then it just started working. And I don't know where it is, but I'm not gonna waste any fucking more time looking for it. And basically it was like, I upped my protein in the nutshell. Next thing you know, I had more strength. I was gaining mass. Like it worked. And it was like, yes. And I struggle to hear, I can't get enough protein and I can't get enough protein. I can't get enough protein. And yes, I understand it's hard. I don't need you to get it all in tomorrow. I need you to get in 20 more grams tomorrow. I need you to get in 40 total more grams by the end of next week.
Is there a
Like
max on like shakes that you do just personally?
me personally, the way it's set up right now, I get about 75 grams of my 300 from protein shakes. Everything else is nutrition. When I bump up to like 350, I get maybe 100 on my training days from shakes. Um, I have 3 to 4 shakes, no more than. But I understand that I am much higher. You know, I'm not getting. I'm maybe getting a quarter of my protein from a supplement. Everything else is coming from nutrition. Which trust me, when I'm at peak and I'm pushing 6,000 calories, I'm not hungry by meal 3. I'm just not. But what gets me through is I know in about 3 weeks, I'm gonna be willing to punch a baby in the mouth for 6,000 calories because I'm gonna be fucking hungry. So that's my mental trick that I play on myself. Um, so experiment, man. Let's start by upping the protein. Let's cut a little bit of trim a little bit of carbs on the rest day. Try that for this month.
Cool, man.
Evaluate.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Juliana, thank you for your patience.
Oh my God, no worries. It was absolutely worth it. That was comedy gold. And also lots of information. It was just a quick one related to my previous question. So there's the intermediate gym program and then the 4-day foundation upper lower split. Do you have any recommendations between choosing between those or?
Say that again.
Sorry. So, before I ask basically, should I do the intermediate foundation so I can start doing deadlifts? There's 2 foundations in the intermediate. There's the intermediate gym program, and then there's the 4-day foundation, which is an upper lower split.
What do you have access to? Upper lower splits I like, personally. Have you ever done anything like that?
Years and years ago, yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I tended to love leg day more just because I feel like I've got a lot more power in my legs, but then I suppose it's maybe good to get that kind of concentrated, upper and lower.
Yeah, try it. Okay. The beauty of it is you can do it, complete it, and then try the gym one.
Oh yeah. So simple.
Yeah, you don't have to what should I do? Or try the gym one and be like, I think I want to do the upper. I'm saying this because you might like both. You might like one or the other. What I would do is go into the program and look at it and try and digest it and see if you can make it make sense for you.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then try one that makes the most sense for you right now. And then come back. Catches ran foundation 4 or 5 times? And then do both of those and be like, I think I handle this at advanced.
Nice. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions?
Can I ask one thing on the nutrition? Sorry, not to let you go. I've been doing FUBAR since June purely for fat loss. And I've got 1 more week I want to do it for, but my goal, I want to get some visible muscles. Do you then switch to maintenance?
Instead of the invisible ones?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not quite sure what the best way is, nutrition wise. How do you switch? Did that make sense?
I'm not intimate with the ups and downs of FUBAR.
That's torture. But it works.
But how much weight have you lost?
5 kilograms.
Okay. The first thing you're gonna do is up protein. Plain and simple. You don't need a plan to know that that's gonna be the next thing you do coming out of FUBAR. And depending on workout intensity, carbs. It's things have to stay lean on the fat side to build lean mass. But it kind of aligns with what I said to Nick, fat is used in recovery. So that is a real thing. So what you could probably do is, and I'll ask Adam or Catch because they know FUBAR like the back of their hand. I've literally never even been inside the nutrition side of the app, if I'm being completely honest. I've never even gone into a single workout. Outside of like to look at something to answer a question. I don't
Yeah.
navigate the app. I hit my notifications, answer them, then I go into the groups and I coach.
Yeah.
So admittedly, I'm a bit ignorant, and it's something I should do as far as homework goes. But I know myself, and I'm going to deep dive, and I don't want to take that bandwidth away from coaching, just trying to understand something that maybe I don't need that depth to still coach effectively. But what's going to happen is immediately coming out of it, you're going to need, I would immediately probably throw, if you had to estimate, what's your protein net right now on FUBAR?
It's 120 to 140 a day.
So coming out of that week, I want you to try and go to 160 to 180.
Okay.
Not immediately. Go from, try and hit 150 the next week.
Okay.
Then try and hit 160 the next week. Because if you hit 150 a day, you know 160 is possible.
Yeah, very
You
true.
hit 160 a day, you know 170 is possible. Like, oh shit, that's 10 more grams. That's
achievable.
Yeah, exactly. It's way more palatable. And then you can probably just start by adding maybe a little bit more carbs pre and post workout as a place to start. But when I don't know a full and complete answer, I go find the information. So that's what I'm going to do.
Thank you. Yeah, I know I'm going to take it off FUBAR and go onto the personalized plan, but it was just, you get options of maintain, lose, or gain. It's like, oh, don't know, because I want to gain but not get fat.
Can you do me a favor and text out the entire question so I don't ADHD the shit out of it and completely butcher it when I ask it?
I will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's much appreciated.
Of course. Bart, hit me.
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
I finished the short on time foundation and I'm starting Adam's hybrid and Jones on it. And there's no clean and press, at least at the phase one. I think there are seated barbell overhead presses. So should I just follow the program and forget about the cleans for a month, or should I swap it? Don't forget the technique, because I'm starting to getting the clean, and I'm worried I'm gonna forget it in a month.
You won't forget it in a month, first of all. It might get rusty, but a week or two back into the clean and press game, it's gonna pick back up momentum. So if you want to do the hybrid, just do the hybrid.
Yes, I need the
Yeah, don't stress about the clean and press, because a month in the grand scheme of this is a blip.
I know, and I did my lessons. I packed up the program, so now I'm gonna follow it regularly. So it's gonna be a trap bar too, but I'm good with that.
If it's peace of mind you want, at the end of your workout on like a day that's not super taxing, take an empty bar and go through the motions. Do like a couple sets of 5. Just keep the motion in there. Don't need to add weight or add, 10-pound bumper plates or 5-kilo bumper plates, so you have everything feels the same off the floor, and keep it fresh, but you don't need to. You're training it neurally without taxing the program.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you as always.
Yes, sir. All right. Any more questions on the closeout before we wrap this puppy up? Because we hit 3.5 hours. Going once, going twice. We're sold. All right, guys. Well, I will catch you next week. Thanks for showing up again for day 2.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Bye, guys.